Hello. We're starting the webinar. I've hopped in about 3 minutes early and I figured I would just hop in and get started and welcome anyone who is here early like I am. Let me know when you pop in. I'm going to open up the questions and answers in the chat box. Let me know if you're here. Let's see. Hey, Kristen. Nice to see you. Getting started a couple minutes early. Thank you for being here. It's been a minute since I've hosted a live webinar, so all right. Also getting situated. So let's see. How many people do we have? This is really gonna bug me because my screens are like opposite. Okay. So it looks like it's just a couple of people here right now. Still 2 minutes early, so we're just gonna sit here and have a chat. Couple of housekeeping things. If you want to see questions, answers, or comments, turn on all panelists and attendees on the chat. You click the chat and make sure that if you submit anything that it says all panelists and attendees so that we can all see it. So if you're just now popping in, I started this just a couple minutes early to give everyone a chance to hop on, introduce themselves, let me know who's here, put your name, location, if you've got kids home with you today, because I certainly do. So if you hear dogs barking, kids screaming, you know, just normal stay-at-home, work-at-home stuff. All right, so one more minute. We're gonna let people kind of come in. We'll just get started. I'm not seeing anybody mention who is here, so definitely pop in your name if you want. Take a picture, prove that you were here today. Post it on Instagram if you want. Tag me in it, of course. I'm in New York and taking a break from getting our house ready for a sale this weekend. Ooh, are you selling your house? Hey, Sab. Hey, how's it going? Where are you from today? Put in your location. Okay, we've got 5 people. It's just now 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which means that we should start seeing some new faces roll in. Today's workshop is all about how to create the perfect lead magnet that grows your email list with your ideal clients, which everybody really wants to do. Let me know if you have a lead magnet already. Are you growing your email list? Are you getting started? Where are you at with that? Just put in, I have 100 email subscribers, or I'm just getting started. Let me know. And then I'll catch up on who's showing up here and give you a little shout out. Sab is living in Dublin, Ireland, and it's 6 p.m. Well, hey, welcome. Other side of the world. Becky, hello, Becky. She has a lead magnet and just getting started with her list. This is perfect then. This is perfect if you're just getting started or if you've attempted to create a lead magnet and grow your list, but you want to make sure that you are on the right track, because I've got some tips and tricks specific for making sure that your lead magnet is working for you. So since it's 11:01 now, I'm going to let people just start coming in. I really want to make this high value for you and make sure that you get everything that you showed up to get. So we're going to get started in a second. Kristen has a lead magnet with over 3,000 subs. Perfect. Kathy is from Temple, Texas, and she's created a few. Saab, is it Saab? I have a lead magnet and opt in on nearly all my blog posts and one big lead magnet on my exit. Oh, okay, Sab, probably Sabrina. Well, hopefully your lead magnets are working for you. And if you're just here to get a refresh, this is perfect. We're going to do that. If you're just getting started or wanting to make sure you're on the right track, that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to turn my screen around. I really want to make sure that we get started on this. So give me a second while I make sure that I do this right. Okay. Share my screen. Share. Okay. Let me know, can you see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen. Right now it should say lead magnet generation, how to identify and decide on your best strategy. Okay, so we're getting some yes, you can see. All right, so let's get started. Make sure my everything works. It's not working, so give me 2 seconds. I just moved this up since we've got kids at home today. I just moved this whole setup upstairs. So just making sure all the tech works. Okay. Okay, ready? So what we're going to be covering today, this is what we're covering so that you know whether or not we're going to cover what it is that you are specifically here for today, and also so that you can look forward to asking questions about something specific. So we're going to talk about what is a lead magnet, what you need to do before you make one, and if you already have one, you can go back and review whether you've done some of these things. The 4 components of every lead magnet that you need to be successful, the tools needed to create a lead magnet in case you've created one, but you're thinking about another. I'm going to cover some additional tools, the tools you need to host a lead magnet, the elements needed in a lead magnet to convert, which is what we generate leads for, right? We want to make sales, grow our traffic, and convert people who are warm or cold into hot raving fans, right? So we're going to cover that, and we're going to cover all the tools that you can use from your Ivory Mix membership library in order to support you. Okay, are you guys excited? I am. Let's keep going. All right, so what is a lead magnet? The way that you will generate a growing list of leads quickly, easily, and passively. So I know some of you have lead magnets already, so you get this, you understand what a lead magnet is, but the hope is that these specific leads are ideal clients. So if you're growing an email list, but you're not converting into sales, you definitely want to review where you're at in this process and whether your lead magnet is actually generating the right leads. Okay. Sab is saying that she downloaded the new Canva templates for lead magnet and they're amazing. You're welcome. So we're going to talk about that, but definitely stay until the end to make sure that you get a full look at what she is talking about. So the best lead magnets convert cold leads into warm leads who are ready to buy. The only way that you're going to grow your business and the only way that you're going to keep scaling what it is that you have to offer is if you're generating the right types of leads, right? So your lead magnet takes a cold lead. Let's get my mouse over here. Can you guys see my mouse? Am I showing up with a pointer? Let's see. Okay. It starts there with awareness. So anybody who comes in contact with your business starts to become aware of who you are and what you do. They are considered a cold lead. Just being aware of who you are doesn't necessarily mean that they're anywhere interested in what you have to offer for sale. But what a lead magnet does is it turns those cold leads and makes them aware of who you are and what you have to offer. So even though they are aware of it, they have to somehow become interested, right? Which is the next step, and have a strong desire to actually purchase. And if they have a desire or not, you need to convert them from just having a simple desire and interest into actually taking action. So we're not going to cover necessarily how to get them to take action, but we are going to talk about how to make your lead magnet work for you to get them ready to take action. So your lead magnet makes them aware of who you are and what you have to offer, and it aligns with what they already desire. And your lead magnet should invite them to take action. So whether that's in the actual lead magnet itself or in the follow-up emails and interaction afterwards, right? So that's the purpose of a lead magnet, and that is the funnel, so to speak, or the process in which you get them from becoming aware of you and taking action. So how do you do that? That's what we're going to talk about. Okay, I'm new at this annotation thing. It's pretty fun. So let's get started. I gotta erase it now. Okay, so if you want automation in your business and making passive sales in your business, then making a lead magnet is important, but keeping it simple is even more important. So the more lead magnets you have, the more freebies that you offer doesn't necessarily impact your bottom line as much as getting one lead magnet simply converting for you, because that's all it takes. All it takes is one lead magnet and getting someone through the process of awareness, interest, desire, and taking action. So the more simple that you can start, the better. So if you've got all these ideas of freebies, all these ideas of lead magnets to get people to join your mailing list, that's great. It's great to have ideas. But if a lead magnet takes you more than a couple of days to execute, then you might want to second guess adding 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or more lead magnets. Yes, it's great to have multiple, but can you support each person that joins your email list in getting through that awareness, interest, desire, and taking action funnel? So the first thing that you can do is just recognize that keeping it simple is your best bet. Okay, so before developing a lead magnet, you want to ask yourself, what is my core focus? What am I creating a lead magnet for? What's the purpose? So in the chat, tell me what's your business? What do you have to sell? What is it that you are attempting to do? Are you an affiliate marketer? Is it just growing your email list to grow traffic to your offers or the products that you discuss? Or maybe you have a coaching business to grow your email list full of people who are ready to join your coaching program. Or maybe you teach and you have an online course. So put in the chat, let me know what it is that your core focus is. And then, just write down, take a note right now, ask myself, what is my core focus? Then if you've already created a lead magnet, or if you're thinking of ideas and things for you to grow your email list, ask, am I being specific with my core focus? So if you're just growing your email list in order to grow a list of fans, how can you get more specific? Okay, so Kristen says teaching hand lettering on the iPad is my business, and my lead magnet is a bundle of freebies for the iPad. Guys, I'm going to take 1 second. I forgot to grab a glass of water and I'm desperate for a drink. So hold on just a second. Okay. Okay, so I think it's perfect because Kristen's teaching hand lettering on an iPad, and her lead magnet is a bundle of freebies for the iPad. Ultimately, she wants, let's move this a little bit. Ultimately, she'd like to funnel them into her lettering subscription. So you've got a great start. Linda is digital marketing leading to a strategy session. Okay, so you guys kind of get the idea. My specific focus is helping women entrepreneurs be more focused. Okay, so think about what your core focus is. I think you guys have a great start, but really get honest with yourself on whether the things that you're creating, even blog posts, even social media posts, is it really speaking towards my core focus and who I am serving? And then determine whether your message is speaking to a specific potential client, or does it attract 10 different types of people? So I can't stress enough how important a mission is to transforming the way that you speak in your business, because when you're speaking the language of the people who use your products or services, they hear you more loudly than anyone else. When you use words they use, talk about struggles they have, talk about things that they experience, and use relatable messaging specific for your audience, then you're going to get their attention more easily. Okay, so ask yourself, are you using the right message for the right person? And if you haven't gotten specific about who it is you serve, take a moment to ask yourself, who am I serving? What do I do for that person? And what problems am I solving? What am I the expert in? And who am I solving that problem for? And ask yourself if your lead magnet, when you start to develop what your lead magnet is or what your freebie is it speaking directly to them? Is it using the words and the problems that they're looking to solve? And more importantly than anything, because if you're using their language, if you're being focused, and if you know who your ideal client is, more important than anything, that freebie or that lead magnet needs to feel irresistible. Like they have a burning desire to solve a problem, and you have this simple thing behind a gate, which means they enter their email list to get behind the gate, right? You have this very simple thing that they could have for free. It's irresistible because it's solving their problem. So think about what things that you can create that feel really irresistible and what solves a problem. Now, this doesn't mean develop a whole new product that you would normally sell. It means really simplifying something for them in the easiest manner that you possibly could and delivering something to them that solves an easy problem. Okay, so we're going to keep talking about this, but make notes that you need to get specific and that it needs to feel irresistible. Okay, so here's an example. The client's pain point, the ideal client's pain point is they're not making enough sales in their business. So perhaps the lead magnet for if you're a coach or someone who helps other businesses make more sales in their business, the lead magnet might be a guide on how to make $1,000 in sales in 5 days. Does that feel irresistible? Like, can you see how someone who's not making enough sales, like that's their pain right now? So if you get really clear on who you're helping and what their pain is, if you get very specific, like I'm not making enough sales, that's what's running in their head all the time is, gosh, I'm not making enough sales. I really need help with this. And they're Googling for help. And they come across a freebie that's an exact guide, step-by-step, how to make 1,000 sales in 5 days. That person who has that inner dialogue would feel like they can't resist entering their email and hoping to get the answer on the other side, right? So inside that lead magnet might be 5 components to how to make $1,000 in sales, the first two of those components within this guide would be very easy to do, right? So what you're doing when you're creating a lead magnet that solves a problem, you really want your first couple of steps or guides or information to be really easy and digestible. But then the next few steps or the next few things that someone might do within your lead magnet, you're giving them the answers, but maybe they're a little more difficult. Maybe those steps are the things that they would eventually need help with. Now, you don't want to make it unattainable for everybody. There are definitely going to be people out there who will try to DIY everything, but they're not your people. You want to offer a solution to the people who really don't want to DIY for themselves, or maybe need a helping hand through a certain process. Okay, so in your lead magnet, if you're creating a checklist or an ebook or a video tutorial, you definitely want to create easy wins, but you do want to create some examples of how they can be successful, but maybe those steps are a little more complicated, because the user can then decide to either do these steps alone, or through the process of the lead magnet or in your follow-up emails, you're going to give them an offer or an upsell to get either guidance or support within your product. Okay, so maybe the 1,000 per month sales accelerator is your program. Okay, so that's a perfect example if you are creating a lead magnet like this. And so you would upsell them through maybe a follow-up email sequence to some kind of a accelerator, or maybe a group coaching program or something. Okay, so that's an example. Let me find my mouse. All right. So what's your lead magnet offer going to be? What's the specific freebie or opt-in that you're going to create? So based on some of what we've already talked about in the example, what are some things that you plan to create, or what is the current thing that you have that maybe you're working on improving? You want to write down and make a list. What's the general idea? Okay, then what I want you to do is spend some time writing out what your ideal audiences and your ideal clients' pain points are. And I want you to focus pain points on financial pain, productivity pain, the process, the pain in the process, and the pain in support. So let's talk about examples. Okay, Kristen, you want to get people into your lettering subscription. That is your core focus. So I want you to consider what the pain is for your potential clients, your potential members financially, or maybe productivity wise. Are they unable to find the time to do lettering? Are they unable to find the process to get into lettering? Or maybe it's the support. So consider what their specific pains are related to the desire that they have. So what's their goal? And then match that with what are the potential pains. And the best way that you can do that is reach out to people who already follow you, or maybe people who are in your general circle of knowledge, or reach out to people who you find on Instagram and just listen to the things they talk about. If you're unwilling or unable to just reach out and ask questions to some stranger who might be into lettering. But if you don't have a following of your own, the best way is to get into a circle or a forum or some kind of a group that does have an interest in your general topic, and start listening for what their pains are. What are the common questions? And see how you could solve that with a simple lead magnet that gets people into your product or service. So focus on those pain points. So what are some examples of pain points? Serious aha moments, scribbling notes furiously, Kristen says. Yes. So if you're coming up with some aha moments, or those current pain points, financial, productivity, process, or support, put them in the comments. Let me know what kinds of things you're thinking about. Kathy says, my audience is baby boomer women and looking at supportive things during this time of self quarantining. Exactly. So what kind of lead magnet or support could you offer them, and what words and messaging and really strategies could you offer to them that speaks to those specific struggles? The more specific you are and the more you know about your ideal audience, the better this lead magnet is going to feel irresistible. The more they're going to go, how are you reading my mind right now? This is perfect. I can't wait to give you my email address. And then what you're delivered at that point is a warm lead who actually probably will not be able to help themselves in, becoming your client or becoming an avid raving fan. So what are 4 big benefits or transformations that you can provide? So on top of like outlining what your ideal client's pain points are, what are the big benefits? Try to go for 4 of them. What are the big benefits that you can provide as far as transformation? So what's the financial transformation that you can provide? What's the productivity transformation that you can provide? And sort of map that out. So go from, I don't know where to start, to having a step-by-step process, or go from unsure of where to get support to having a group of BFFs. Okay, so think about what that looks like. What's the transformation from this pain to this solution? So try to outline at least 4 for your specific audience, and try to think about what's currently getting in their way of achieving that transformation and what might happen if they don't figure this out. So when you start writing this down, when you start journaling, well, what's going to happen if they don't find a support group? Or what's going to happen if they don't get the step-by-step process? Well, they'll never learn how to do lettering, and they'll never monetize their hobby, or maybe they'll never, you come up with these ideas for your specific audience, right? So once you start talking about what the consequences are, then you start to have all of these aha moments, as Kristen put it, about, wow, I'm really solving a problem for my audience. And I'm really showing my potential clients and my ideal clients how with a simple lead magnet, I can truly transform their lives, and it's free. And then you start to have the words and the messages that truly speak to your audience. And they go, you know what, you're right. If I don't do this, if I don't sign up for this, I'm not going to get this end result, or I'm going to be even further away from getting my end result. So consider some of what we've talked about and what some specific features of your lead magnet might be, what you might put in your lead magnet. So you can see we've mapped out their pain, the transformation they want. But once you've done that, now you kind of have an outline of what should be inside the lead magnet, right? What solution are you truly solving for them, and what should be in the lead magnet to sort of solve the problems? But of course, like I mentioned on the previous slide and a little bit earlier, you want some of those solutions to be easy wins, but you want some of those solutions to be a little more difficult. And I'm not trying to, I don't want this to be not valuable for them. You just want these couple of things that are a little more difficult to be painting a picture that your service or your product is an obvious decision or a next step. Okay. So consider how you can sort of paint the picture as your product or service is the obvious next step. Okay. So am I keeping you guys, are you guys following along? How is this, are you having those aha moments? Let me know in the comments. All right, so here are the 4 main components for a successful lead magnet. Kathy says, making all kind of sense. And Kristen says, so helpful. Okay, great, I'm glad. So let's do this. Remember these 4 main components for a successful lead magnet. Number 1 is it's specific and tangible. So if you're going through your old lead magnets and revamping them, or if you're creating new lead magnets, ask yourself, is my idea, is my lead magnet specific, and is it tangible? Like, are they going to get an actual result from the lead magnet? What is it? Is the lead magnet, this is your second main component, is it results driven? So what's that transformation that you want to offer? And is the lead magnet giving them the result? So I see this a lot because I do this in my business, right? I have a resource library. However, a resource library, people don't want to just sign up for a resource library, right? They want a resource for a specific result. So if you create an opt-in or a lead magnet on your website and you have a form on your website that says sign up for my resource library, enter your email, your reader most likely is going to say, well, what's in it for me? I understand there's a bunch of resources, but what's the result I'm going to get? So instead of wording your opt-in, your lead magnet as a resource library, you want to talk about the transformation instead, right? So sign up for my resource library and finally get your finances in order with my 10-step system. I don't know what it is, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you have to make your lead magnet drive people to a specific result, okay? So make sure that your lead magnet has a result that is driving the creation of the lead magnet. Make sure it has easy wins. So you want to make sure people are achieving something. You don't want to make it too difficult. So if it's a 4-part mini series of videos, but they have to wait an entire week to get through it, I would consider whether or not that's actually going to get them the result that they're looking for. If they're signing up with the full understanding that it's going to take an entire week, they might not be as, excited to sign up if versus like creating like a checklist or some kind of a guide. So you have to weigh whether it's worth their time and wait versus how quickly they want to feel like they achieved something. So take some consideration and time in how you're creating your lead magnet and make sure that it has easy wins for your audience. And then make sure that it emphasizes the need of your product or service. So I get this question a lot, and I think that this is a great example for this specific topic. Kayla, why do you offer 500 free stock photos? Like, that is enough for anyone to use in an entire year. But here's the difference. The difference is that library is full of free stock photos that thousands upon thousands of people receive. So it's not very unique. That's the first thing. The second thing is you can't really search through those free stock photos. It's valuable, but it's not valuable for someone who has a blue brand versus a pink brand. They can't search through the photos. I didn't do that strategically, but that's kind of, one of the results of creating the library of free stock photos. But the thing is that it gives them a sampling of what is inside of the membership. It shows how valuable it is to have photos at your fingertips to create Pinterest pins and blog posts and Instagram posts, and how it saves time on top of all of my follow-up emails that sort of demonstrate how you use photos and all the resources in your business. So you can see how maybe the library seems like a ton of value and really great, but it's not until they get in and really understand, like, oh, I probably would do better if I had a paid membership, because then I could truly customize my experience and have exclusive photos. So I just want you to take a moment and really consider whether your lead magnet is emphasizing the need for your product, or is it just free information? If it's just free information and doesn't emphasize the need for your service or product, then you may need to take a few days, take a week, and really reconsider what you could be offering instead. So, Sabrina, I haven't created a resource library yet, but thought about it. Would it be best to keep offering lead magnet one by one and then offer the full library through the follow-up email? I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. Continuing what you just said, when you said offer lead magnets and then your resource library as a follow-up, I think that's a wonderful idea because added value shows your authority on a specific topic, and it also shows gratitude. It shows a giving nature, which people like to reciprocate. So if you are giving value and just have, a giving nature about your brand and you're providing additional resources that helps them, it not only builds authority and shows them that you care about them, but it also builds a need within them to reciprocate, which means they may be more willing and more warmed up to the idea of purchasing from you. So I do like that idea. And if you can do that over creating the resource library as your lead magnet, then I would probably go that direction, because I do feel like resource libraries can become confusing for a lot of people, especially if the resources are all kind of different and unrelated. Okay, so we're going to move on, but I hope that you took notes about these 4 components and will take them into consideration. Okay, so how will your audience get your lead magnet? You need to outline all the ways they're going to get your lead magnet. Okay, are you promoting it on blog posts? Are you pinning the landing page that you created on Pinterest? We're going to talk about landing pages and stuff in a second, but I want you to consider, how are you going to get leads onto the landing page or signed up on the form and downloading your lead magnet? Do they perhaps direct message you on Instagram to get a copy? Maybe they comment on a post and you message them a copy of your landing page or a copy of your lead magnet. Or maybe do they need to absolutely enter their email? So some people, and you may have seen this on Instagram yourself, some people are offering freebies through direct message. I strongly recommend that you go ahead and try this. However, you definitely want to get people on your email list more than you want to grow your following on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest, because your email list is something that you own, and Instagram followers is something that could be gone in an instant. If your Instagram account gets hacked, your Pinterest account gets disabled, or Facebook is no longer there, you won't have those followers anymore. So do consider this your warning. You definitely want to grow your email list versus growing your following. So if you want to incorporate social media shares or social media ways of growing your email list, you can do the DM me for a copy of this lead magnet. You can do that, but I would send them to your landing page to sign up for it versus sending them the freebie. That's just a warning. I've been seeing a lot of this lately on Instagram, and I think that it's a great idea to get people into your DM. It's a whole different topic on how to grow your following and how to get more engagement on Instagram. I've got an entirely different workshop on that topic inside of your membership, so go look for the Instagram workshops. But if you are sending people to your DM in order to get a copy of a freebie, I would consider sending them to your lead magnet landing page instead. So write down all the ways that you plan on growing your email list and where you plan on promoting your lead magnet, because what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to start creating content around growing your lead magnet. Okay. So here's another example. Here's the client. The ideal client is a female business owner looking to scale their coaching business to 6 figures. So maybe you coach other business owners to grow their business to more sales. So the potential freebie or lead magnet in this case may be a PDF guide to the 6-figure coaching blueprint. That would be perfect for a business owner looking to scale their business, right? And the offer within the freebie is a coaching program or sending them to your coaching page. Another example would be a woman 30 to 40 years old having issues with an addiction to sugar. Maybe you're a health and fitness expert who specializes in sugar addiction. And so your freebie is a free 5-day course on how to heal sugar addiction. And your product then that you're upselling people to would be a group accountability program for sugar addicts. So you can see how these freebies could be really enticing and really speak the language of the client or ideal client and are absolutely irresistible, but you can also see how the offer is the obvious next step. That's really what I want you to consider is how is your offer the obvious next step? And then once you start creating your lead magnet and start bringing leads onto your email list, you want to test over and over and over again. Perhaps you create 3 options of your freebies and ask your audience which one they'd be more interested in receiving. So maybe you've considered writing a PDF or doing a mini video series or a full 5-day email course or something along those lines, a checklist versus a guide. Really keeping it simple and testing the first easiest thing that you can is your best bet. But sometimes information is better delivered over a couple of days. It really truly depends on your audience, the result they're looking for, and the preferred delivery method. Everybody's audience is different. Everybody has a specific type of ideal client, and usually those ideal clients have a specific preferred method of digesting stuff, right? So Kristen has iPad letterers in her community. Perhaps they would prefer some kind of iPad or tablet driven document versus something someone would print out and fill out. That wouldn't make very much sense. So you definitely want to consider all the options available to you, but don't think that you can't test different ideas, and do talk to your audience about what it is that they would prefer more than anything. So here are the tools to create lead magnets. First, you need a way to deliver your lead magnet. So you need email list software. I first started with MailChimp. And then once I grew my email list to about 2,000 subscribers, this was a long time ago, I upgraded to their paid service, and then I was able to add additional freebies. So when I was on the free MailChimp account, I could only have really one free offering and one landing page. So it was kind of limiting in that aspect. But there are other options available to you that are free. I believe MailerLite is free. In addition to that, there are paid options that have a smaller monthly cost, ConvertKit being one, and I use ConvertKit myself, and I've been hearing and I've seen great things about Flowdesk as well. So basically what you need is a way to grow your email list and a way to deliver freebies. So I don't know who you guys use, but I use ConvertKit, but really what you need is something that you understand how to use, something that's easy to use, and something that will deliver your freebie for you, but also grow and collect your email list. In addition to that, you're going to need a landing page, some kind of a page that you can send to people, a URL that you can send to people on social media or through your blog posts or your emails or some other content that is a URL that you can send people to, and it has a form on it where people can enter their email list. ConvertKit has landing page creation tools, so you can create a free landing page on ConvertKit, and I'm sure all the other options have something similar. On top of that, they have forms that you can copy and paste the code into your like blog posts. Okay, so really those two are obvious things that you need, but they can be really simplified if you get the right email list software. So if you use ConvertKit, and I know I keep talking about ConvertKit, it's just the one that I use, you get a landing page form that you can create landing pages very easily. So beyond email list software and landing page, you need to actually create the lead magnet itself. So that might be a PDF, it might be some kind of Google Doc, it might be a video. So I've listed out some things that I've used: Canva, a Word document to create some kind of a written PDF. You could send people to a Google Doc. If you create a Google Doc, just be aware that not everybody has a Google account. So in order to access Google Docs and save that to their own documents, they're going to have a Google account. You can create a Google Sheet or a PowerPoint that they could download. If you want to do a screen capture video, you could use Loom, or Screencast-O-Matic is something that I've used for a long time. And if you're just wanting to do a video tutorial and maybe host that on YouTube as an unlisted video, you can just use your phone to create a video. So it doesn't need to be very difficult. If a lead magnet is going to take you longer than 2 or 3 days to create, I would second guess whether you need to create that lead magnet, especially if it's your first time creating it. So I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Don't overcomplicate how you create your lead magnet. Definitely use stuff that you are familiar and used to using, but don't overcomplicate it. Get as simple as you can, and consider anything longer than 2 or 3 days creation is too long. We have Flowdesk users, ConvertKit users. How do you send a landing page on Facebook? The URL. So on ConvertKit, you get a URL for your landing pages. And I'm not going to walk through that right now, but you could Google a tutorial on how to do that. So you can send them to that URL through Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Okay, so how do you host a lead magnet? This is one that I almost didn't add in here, but I think there are questions for people who have never created a lead magnet might have. So I host my PDFs, my images, and sometimes my videos on Amazon AWS S3. Now, this sounds very technical, but really what it is it creates a cloud space, like a place online for you to upload a PDF, and then you get a URL for that PDF that you can then send to people. That's basically what it is. So you can add PDFs, images, or videos, and it's a secure place that you can save your PDFs on without having to host it on your own like website, or through like Dropbox or in Google Drive, which I'm going to describe why you want to avoid doing that. But that's one thing that you can do, is host your PDFs on Amazon AWS. I can show you guys that later, maybe after we get through all the slides, but that's what I do. Now, your email service provider like ConvertKit or Flowdesk or MailChimp, they probably, I can't guarantee every one of them does this, but I know ConvertKit does. They have an ability for you to upload your document into on their server so that it gets delivered through their platform. So that's another way. The other way is if you create videos, you can actually host the videos on YouTube. So you just create a YouTube channel, and when you publish the YouTube video, you check the setting to unlisted. That way it's not public, it's a private video that only people who have the link can view. And then the warning that I wanted to give about cloud storage options. So you may have considered hosting files on Dropbox, or you may have considered hosting files on Google Drive, or something along those lines. It's a perfectly good beginner option, but eventually you'll find that you have issues with people sharing the links with others. That's really not a problem, but I've encountered issues with bandwidth. I've had issues where I've hosted files on Dropbox and it's a free account for me, and too many people accessing one document flagged the account and made the document unavailable. So it was just kind of like a hosting nightmare. So I just want to give you some options that you're not going to find don't work for you when you do grow and scale your business. You can still use Dropbox and things like that, but just be careful if you're using a free account, because there are limits to how many like downloads certain documents can have. Okay, so let's talk about, how are we doing on time, by the way? Okay, I'm going to try to make this, we've got 12 more minutes until this has been an hour, so we'll try to speed this along. So here are the elements of a lead magnet landing page that you want to consider. Now, a lead magnet is not the same as a sales page. So a sales page is going to be longer, have a lot more elements to it. A lead magnet page doesn't necessarily need to have as many like sections or elements to it, but you do want to use the language that resonates with your audience, and you want to talk about things that they want to achieve, right? So you want to create a powerful headline. So just because people land on your landing page doesn't mean they're going to actually opt in and enter their email address. You need to create a landing page that's attractive, but also speaks their language. So you want to have a nice big headline that speaks their language, okay? You want a sub headline or give a little description of what it is. So in this case, it's a free 40-page ebook. That's huge ebook. But what I did, just so you guys know, is I took blog posts of mine and I sort of reassembled them into a one downloadable ebook. So it ended up being 40 pages, but it's full of information. And really what people, once they get into it, is they start realizing they want video tutorials and they want to see an actual tutorial on how certain things are done instead of just reading the book. And so it leads people to the natural next step, which we talked about, which was my online course for Pinterest. So you want to show an example of the lead magnet. So if it's an ebook like this, you want to have your graphic up. You want to add social proof if you've got it. So if you have any testimonials or any comments on social media, you want to add that onto the page. You want to add your opt-in form, of course, and a strong call to action. So get instant access, which is what this call to action is. And then any disclaimers, policies, or logos. So that last part's very important if you plan to run ads on like Facebook or Instagram. So in order for your ads to not violate their policies, you definitely at the bottom of all of your lead magnets need to have your disclaimers and your policies. I'm not going to go into that, but just know that for future, when you do want to run ads, you need to make sure that you're following all guidelines that Facebook and Instagram require of you. And that is having disclaimers and policies at the bottom that sort of describe that for your audience, okay? All right, so elements of a lead magnet that convert. This is the part that I know a lot of you are really kind of curious about. So how do you get people from a warm lead into a converted client? Well, we've already talked a lot about this, but your lead magnet needs to be easy to follow. is it creating easy wins for them? Is it creating a step-by-step process that they can easily go through to get that transformation? You want to add social proof and examples inside of your lead magnet or your follow-up emails where possible. You want to demonstrate the need of your sales and offer. I can't stress that enough. So any examples where you can trickle in, how your product or service really helps in a certain situation, you want to talk about that. So if you're creating a guide or a step-by-step checklist or resource list, don't neglect mentioning how your offer really helps. Then inside of your lead magnet, you want to have a call to action. So if you're creating some kind of a checklist or you're creating a mini ebook or any kind of video, you definitely want to consider at the end of your ebook or even your video, giving them some call to action to, get on your wait list or join your membership, or maybe you have a discount code for a specific product. Whatever that call to action is, make it specific, actionable, and related to your lead magnet. You also will want to add a little bit about yourself. So who you are, what you do, and where they can find you on the internet. So maybe a link to your Instagram account, and then any, of course, copyright, disclaimers, logos, and additional links that might be needed. So I've got examples on the side over here of our recent lead magnet template. So it gives you all of those things inside of your membership and inside of this Canva template. It gives you all those things that I described for you to plug and play, and you can customize the colors and customize the fonts as needed, and then of course change out the photos, add an about page section, but it gives you all the elements that I described here and really works for your business. Okay, so here is the list of tools that you can use inside of your membership. So if you go to, I'm going to see if I can swap the screen or maybe stop sharing. Hey guys, okay. So I'm going to pull up the website really quick, and I just want to walk you through some of the things that you can use to really help you along in this process. So just give me a second while I pull up, and I will share the screen. Okay. Okay, so if you just go to the shop and into the stock Photoshop, you'll come here. This is what it looks like now. I know that this particular workshop is going to be available on replay on inside the membership. So if in a couple months this looks different, I apologize. But if you just come to your Canva templates, I'm also streaming this live, so things run a little bit slowly. So you just go to the inside of your Canva templates, you're gonna have a bunch of lead magnet templates, ebook templates, and then you have a presentation template. So that's first and foremost, okay? You can create your lead magnets with templates we have. I'm planning on growing. This is brand new as of today, so definitely use and utilize your free templates. But then you can also go to your Instagram templates, and what you have available to you inside here are promotional graphics. So you've got these mock-up templates. So we talked about mentioning your ebooks and your lead magnets on social media, and we talked about using promotional material inside of your blog posts and all of those areas. You're going to want to utilize at least something to mock up your freebie, at least for an element inside of your blog post, or maybe an element on Instagram. So you can use these Instagram mockups, and we're going to have a lot more. So you just drag and drop your actual lead magnet into the Canva templates. On top of that, okay, on top of that, you can go to the photos, and you can mock up your lead magnets on photos of tablets, and we've got clipboard images and things along those lines. So like this one in particular. So anytime you can mock up your freebie or your downloadable product, people are going to be a little more intrigued, because showing your actual, digital product in a lifestyle setting, in a setting that looks, like an everyday setting, is more engaging than just a, screen capture. Now, you could certainly share your screen capture, but this is just a little more appealing, obviously. So that's some of what's available to you. Also, converting caption templates. So you have access to your captions that convert inside of your membership, and we have areas inside of the captions specific for you to promote your products, your blog posts, and your freebies. So you fill in the blanks and customize it for your topic and your audience, but those captions are specifically written for you to promote what you have to offer your audience. And I hope after being in this workshop, you understand the importance of using the language and the message and using those transformations that they fully desire to sort of transform those captions into things that get your audience and your ideal client to take action. So the caption templates themselves, they're not going to be everything you need to get people to convert. Really, are you connecting with the message and the desires that your audience truly wants? And then can you use the caption templates to get people really intrigued in what it is you have to offer? So that's really my hope for these caption templates, is you use them along with all this other knowledge that you're kind of getting. And then of course, you've got all your workshop replays and things like that. Now, I feel like I was missing, did I talk about this? So I just want to make sure that you guys know, inside of your membership, if you go to Academy right now, if you go to your membership Academy, you've got access to other workshops. And I've done plenty of workshops on sales funnels and getting people onto your email list. And we're going to have more on email copywriting and just so much more. Okay. But that's what you really have available to you inside of your membership, on top of everything else that we've already discussed. Okay, so I know I've talked about a lot today, and I think you guys have some questions, so I want to give you the space to ask the questions, and so we can have a little chat. So let me bring up the chat here. Okay, Kristen, smiling faces. I love it. So much amazing value. Catherine says, yes, that's all that I want to give to you guys, is just like the tools that you need. But really what's important is that I get a chance to do these workshops with you so that you get massive action within 1 hour, but then end every workshop with like, okay, your next steps are go to the membership, or go create the things that you need to create in order to get the ideal clients that you absolutely need. So we truly hope that those steps and tips and tricks have helped you. I do plan on creating more workshops and giving opportunities to other members who actually can teach you a lot more about like creating stuff in Canva and branding things of your own. We're really going to keep growing these workshops for you, but I really want you to just take massive action and keep it simple, and you hopefully have the tips and tricks at your fingertips now to really get raving fans and hot leads, right? Okay, where are the workshops again? Okay, so if you go to ivorymix.com at the top, now I said this is a replay, so just in case anybody's watching this as a replay later, this may be changing in the next couple of months. But today, in order to get to the workshops, you go up to Ivory Mix and you go to shop, and then you go to Membership Academy, or you go to the Academy. I'll show you. Let me just show you. Here we go. So right here, Academy. So you go to, I got too many things hovering. Here we go. You go to shop and then stock Photoshop. Okay, and then this opens up and then you go to the Academy. And in the Academy is, right now we have 16 workshops, and that will continue to grow. And then of course, you have access to all of the courses as a VIP member. Now, if you're an elite member, but you want to upgrade to VIP, just send me an email. But as VIP members, you get access to all of these courses as well. And there is an entire section, an entire course on content that converts and subscriber rush. So a lot of what I've talked about today is included inside of those. So hopefully that's helpful. Any other questions? Got so many good ideas and clarifications, Kristen said. That's great. I'm thrilled that you got so much value out of it. And if you guys have any additional questions, do feel free to reach out to me through the Facebook group, our private Facebook group. Just make sure you tag me so that I see it. And yeah, so get to it. I can't wait to see you guys and what you create with your lead magnets. And I really hope to hear that you're growing a thriving list of hot leads and people who are ready to convert into customers, like instantly. I can't wait to see. All right, guys, you guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll talk to you guys later.